What up, though? Welcome back to the Beat Factory 313 War Stories podcast, and I'm your host, Juice. And I got my man, my brother, my partner back with us. Tell him who we got with us.
Y'all know who it is. Juanico Williams, aka 7 Mile Killer Cat and over stand up.
That's
Michigan Department of Correction, hostage name and number Sherman Wagner, 228509. Rock bottom former artist known as Nico Blasi. What's up, bro?
what up, though, man. I'm glad you came back. You feel me? But I had a specific reason why I wanted you to come back. It's been people in the comments, and they've been asking about who was the most deadliest crew. We do true crimes, war stories. You feel me? The War Stories podcast.
Yeah.
So, they was asking, Rocky Reg just came home. So, they was like, well, what about Rocky Reg and versus the Clifford Jones Monster Crew organization? They was wanting to know who I thought was the most deadliest, right? And then a couple guys chimed in. I had Mark McLeod on here. You feel me? And on that's your uncle, right? So that's why I want you to come on here and speak for your uncle. You feel me? Because certain things, he can't talk about. So, but when he came on, he displaying his book and all that. But I put in the headings when I advertised his show, ex-YBI member. So you had a few guys in there saying he wasn't ex-YBI. Can you elaborate on that a little bit for him?
Well, I'm gonna say this first and foremost, right? Uncle gone since '88, right? And whoever said that he wasn't affiliated You feel me?
Exactly.
So whoever said that, that's without a question. Secondarily, right? It ain't so much it's about the affiliation, it's about the individuals. Bunch of people affiliated with shit that they ain't never made, they ain't never added to the pot. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody know anything about you can just pull it up, the newspaper article. Man, there's some crews out here claim they've been doing all kind of shit. They ain't got as many points on the scoreboard. I'm gonna say it like that. As got by itself. You did.
That's right.
So that's just according to the news in the courthouse. I'm gonna say for real, all that shit could be fictitious, but we just know what kind of guys that my uncle done was. We talking about Mark, Larry, Reggie, talking about my auntie Vicky, talking about all of them, man. When the Ryan prison break went down, these guys, just being real, the kind of love that you have to have been gone off the streets for whatever amount of years and have your nephews come break you out of prison.
Real.
Now, we all know 10 people came out of the prison when my brother went and got them out. But we know it wasn't but 2 people meant to come out, and that was Mark and Lil Will. Rest in peace, Lil Will Merriweather. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace, Lil Will.
I'm not talking about what I think. I'm talking about what I know. Anybody know the track record, check it. You know what I'm saying? But I want to give a shout out to Reg too, real quick. I know Reg very well. We did some time together. Just left in the Coldwater in 2022. Happy to see the guy home.
That's what's up. And so
But as far as when you say when people ask the question, who was the deadliest crew in the city? I'm gonna have to say this, right? There's always gonna be guys who will do anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's some guys that don't went up to a school and killed 50 people in one day. I don't know if that makes them the most deadliest person on earth, but what about the guys who had reason, principles, used the aggression and the violence to push the agenda? If you watch Get Rich or Die Trying, Dog told him, he say, violence beget more violence, but don't beget more money. So when you start talking about Cliff and his crew, and then you talk about Reg and his people, you know what I mean? Reg and them is more our age bracket. You know what I mean? I remember when people used to think Rock and Reg was 2 different people.
Right.
You know what I mean? This time his name was so synonymous with getting busy that people thought they was like twin brothers or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So so but also with my uncle and them being the guys that they was and the principles that they gave us and taught us. When you talking about dangerous though, I'm just saying this, right? It's a different mindset. I would have to give it to a group of guys that thought enough to call themselves Young Boys Incorporated. Not Young Boys Affiliated, not Young Boy Gang, These guys had the corporate mindset. So when the feds start snatching these guys up, they indictment saying murder for hire.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. The amount of money they had behind it, the way they trained the generation of youth, like child soldiers in Africa, to hold guns, and know when and when not to pull the trigger, to go up to drive fucking sons and buy every Cadillac on the lot when these guys is 13 and 14 years old. That's a legacy. That's legendary. You kind of comparing Kobe to Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And they called they alleged hit crew the A-team.
They got a medical emergency. Hold on, bro. They got a medical emergency. I got to get off the phone.
Okay.
I'll call you back in 15 minutes.
All right, bet. I'm gonna pause it here.
Yeah.
All right, peace.
Bro.
Thank you for using GTL.
That was Nico Brasi from Rock Bottom, and we gonna continue elaborating on the most deadliest crews coming out the inner city of Detroit. Like you said, you know, you had YBI that pioneered it all. You feel me? And they laid down the blueprint that triggered an domino effect all over the country for young boys to start getting in the hustle game when that was an older guy game. They didn't allow children in it. But these were some of the players that initiated it. I'm gonna pause it right there, let him come back so we can finish elaborating on it. Hit that like, comment, and subscribe button for us and get ready for part 2. Okay, we back, y'all. Sorry for the interruption. What's going on, Nico?
Yeah, I remember where we was at, man. We just talking about, again, I was just addressing the issue from the standpoint of when they were talking about the most deadly or dangerous crews in the city. One thing for sure, I got to say this, right? Detroit famous for some things, right? And, you know, being the type of city full of guys to get it in, like the OK Corral, Dodge City, Tombstone, Arizona. You know what I mean?
Right.
We always don't be known for that. But in my mind, just being a gang, I'm a street nigga, man. It ain't who you do it to, you know what I mean, as much as why you did it. You feel me?
That's
you got
right.
a 15-year-old running around with a 22 that'll give to anybody. But when you start talking about, first of all, I'm from 75 and 7 Mile, 11 precinct district. Guys in my neighborhood, as far as, you know, who well known for being, you know, stand-up soldiers, you know, Drake Carter, Jason Sherman, of course, Duke Lucci and me. That's my forever co-defendant bro. But
Right.
There's a million guys over here that I know one thing for sure, stand on these principles. What about when the boomerang come back around and it's one of yours to get caught up in the rapture? Do guys pick up and go slide for their people? You feel me?
Right.
Because I'm telling you now, man, all the guys I meet in here, I'm telling you now, it's rare to meet a guy that's the situation. You know, he don't fell down standing up. You feel me?
Right.
One of his people caught a bad one. You know what I mean? And he went and did what he needed to do to make sure the scoreboard was even. So, you know, in that respect, you know, it's some guys I really respect. You know, when you're in the field, you're a gladiator. You know, we signed up for this life, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, I respect everything the guys done did, whatever they felt they had to do. Shit. And truth be told, man, you know, you got guys who did it that on the stage where everybody know about it. We can't discuss, you know, what we don't know, wasn't there.
Right.
Shit, the statute of limitations, you know what I'm saying, still got. But I'm saying this, as far as reputations go, you know, them friendly guys, man, they did it all over the United States, man. They talk about them boys all in New York and Atlanta and other places, you feel me?
Exactly. And
but as far as Big Unk and them, you know what I mean, and Butch and them, hey man, they the reason today why you call that white shit raw dog. You feel me?
Right.
Raw dog on top of other shit. So, you know, they laid the foundation, and I would never disrespect that and take away from it. You know what I'm saying? So
that's right.
That's my opinion.
And most definitely they did, you know what I'm saying? And they did it with style and class, you know what I'm saying? They weren't just out here causing ruckus. They was out here generating finance, you know what I'm saying? In the process. And they was looking
Absolutely.
And they was looking good while they was doing it. You know, they had the flyest clothes, the latest cars, you know what I'm saying?
And they had the corporate mindset. See, America taught a lot of us how to be gangsters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because America, no, you can't build a country and make it worth nothing without putting together an army.
Right.
You feel me? Because in that case, you just stored it up for somebody else to come along and take it. So when a guy's building an empire, incorporated, they put together the army, the A-team, shit like that.
Right.
Because ones have to know, this shit is valuable and anybody just come along to take it if we're not prepared to defend it. No different than, bro and them did on the east side. So again, we like to glorify certain things. I see Hitler on TV way more than I see the Pope. So I don't want to hear America talking about, oh, they on the phone, on these podcasts, glorifying violence and murder. Hey man, ain't nobody brought a war to American shores, never. Only wars we ever had over here is the ones that started over here. They blew up some buildings. We go get in everybody's business, kill 1 million people, call them people insurgents. Don't even give them the respect to call them soldiers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care about that. I know for a fact that, you must meet aggression with aggression, and you need an army whenever you're building an empire. So what happened in them streets was between gladiators, people who signed up for this. Of course, nobody think they're going to come out on the losing end. But the fact of the matter is, man, Detroit is famous for breeding soldiers. Yeah, I'm one of them. You did.
That's right. And tell them how that played out in the end, though. Tell them, let the young guys know what's the outcome of getting off that porch.
Well, I'm gonna use myself. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you my story. Of course, everybody know, man. I'm the bookworm, man. I grew up in school, never had a beat, but I'm a firstborn grandchild in my family. I ain't got no big brothers. I ain't got no big cousins. You feel me?
Right.
It's uncles, and then it was me. You feel me? So, I always had to fight for my younger brothers, my younger relatives, the guys I grew up with. So I had to learn the hard way. One thing that was different from me from a lot of guys I grew up with, my family is a military family. My great uncles, my granddaddy, my uncles, all these guys in the military. So I grew up with the punishment of front leaning rest position, stand on one leg, push-ups. Like I was really trained. They boxed, they did karate, they did all these things. I was a physical young guy. So the fighting aspect, I always had the heart to do that. But when I saw that other guys took it to another level, so did I. First thing I ever did that put me on the other side was in Nolan Middle School, 6th grade. Big guy called himself running up on me. I stabbed him all in his face with a pair of scissors. You know what I mean? Everybody from the hood know this guy, Mario, off Irvington. And everybody know the story. Respect to Mario. We became friends after that. You feel me?
Right.
However, it graduated. When you get off that porch, now guy got a reputation for using weapons. So people use weapons back. You feel me? Nigga ain't giving me a fair fight no more. Right. They're like, dog got something in his pocket. He gonna pull it out and use it. So when they graduated, I graduated with them. I'm gonna leave that there.
Right.
But what happens is, man, if you grow up and you playing a violent game and you getting some money, when the police get you and they take you downtown, they usually got a guy. When they get a guy like that, the neighborhood willing to tell on you, you ain't got no money for a mouthpiece, they go and fry you real quick, send you upstate, get rid of you for 5 or 10 years. That ain't the case with what happened with me and Matt. We had lawyers. I remember we used to have a mobile sister back in the day named Melissa Zartia Hill, $1,000 lawyer, but we was learning young, 16, 17, get a lawyer.
Right.
We beating the cases. We coming out. Witnesses not coming to court. Big homies is holding the job down, making sure people keep it in the street. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then what happened is this. An officer named Ira Todd, everybody know he the head of the violent crime division. Officer known for blowing that heater. Told me to my face, man, I'm a gangster too. I chose the other side. He don't kill guys in the line of duty, all of this. But this is what he said. He said, listen, man, y'all guys out here doing what y'all do like it's the roaring 20s. He said, it's only 13 neighborhoods in Detroit. When he said that, I twisted my face up. And what do you mean 13 neighborhoods? He said, we got a precinct in every neighborhood. 13 precincts. That's what we call a neighborhood. He's saying every one of the neighborhoods, you got a guy or two that don't got away a time or two. He said, once you get away a time or two, you on our radar because don't nobody get away once we get our hands on you. At least the second time. He said, that's when we started pooling our resources together. He said, now you got the whole city looking to get you. He said, and we get you downtown when the 1300 started raiding your neighborhood, homicide division, all that. He said, we already don't put together the cake. We already got people that's gonna come to court and say it was you, even if it wasn't. He said, it's the game we play. He said, you're not gonna make us look bad because you don't got our resources. We didn't all combine together not to get you. You be sitting up in the courtroom, man. You know how many people don't came home exonerated for some shit they had nothing to do with?
Mm-hmm.
And you had to wonder, how did 12 jurors, a judge, a prosecutor, 5 or 6 arresting officers all get the wrong person if they wasn't cooperating together? If that wasn't part of the plan. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So now here's the point I'm making. The point I'm making is, it's one thing to be a soldier, a man, to stand on what's real. Man, guys got guns, you got guns. They give them away, they legal. Second Amendment to the Constitution. The first constitutional amendment was the freedom of speech. You got the right to say whatever you want to say. But the founding father was smart enough to say, number 2 better, you better have a gun to back it up. So if you're running your mouth, you're gonna need a pistol.
Right.
You feel me?
Real spill.
No, for real. Now we get into the brass tacks. I'm saying though, when you start doing what you're doing, the thing is you don't want to be having a reputation for it, because the reputation is what brings a guy down. Ain't nothing wrong with you being a man, doing what you do, however you need to do it. Yosemite Sam, William Bonnie, Billy the Kid, whatever you call yourself. You feel me? But the reputation for it brings all the killers who want to be the king of the mountain out after you, brings law enforcement after you, brings all the guys that's around you that really ain't about that life to the forefront to start telling their story. Hey, that wasn't me. That was Dog. I was just in the car. I was just riding around with Dog when that happened. I don't be carrying no guns like that. You feel me?
Right.
So, that's just my experience. So this how it go wrong in the end. In the end, man, I thought I was running with a bunch of gangsters, a bunch of gladiators, a bunch of animals. But if that was the case, then I couldn't have never put that shit on my resume either. If everybody do it like that, you feel me?
Right.
So what I've learned in the end, man, when you live in that lifestyle and that's your mentality, man, people around you really ain't, they praying for it to be the other way. They would much rather it be peace. Human beings are gentle by nature. You put them in positions where everybody starts giving them props and uplifting people for being stupid, they're going to be stupid. That's just how it goes, man, So, as far as the most dangerous niggas in the city, I don't want to flip the coin one way or another. As far as the most dangerous city, yeah, it's Detroit, Michigan. I don't give a fuck how many murders another city got. When you ask what it's about, if it ain't about protecting an empire with an army, man, that shit's stupid. You feel me?
That's right.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what color you got on. If that's what it's about, that shit's stupid.
That's
yeah,
right.
But in the name of progress, ain't that what George Bush said? In the name of progress, we will stay the course. The United States does not negotiate with terrorists. That's how my hood felt. I'll bring your ass over here across that bridge, my nigga.
You feel me? You feel
we
me?
protecting the empire.
When you spoke on it before, I want you to say it again. They going at each other at full force on what they saying to each other over social media, or what they said about their dead friends, what the other side said about their dead friends. You feel, even if they ain't the ones that killed them, just because they said their name, they put them on the hit list. You feel me? What you got to say about that?
And I hope this ain't too rough for people, right?
Come on with it.
He coined the phrase. My man Rod Day said it on the Rock Bottom album, man. If you don't want conflict, don't comment, nigga. See, one thing for sure, man, when you real about this shit, nigga, I will protect your legacy, your honor, like I protect your flesh. You hear me?
That's right.
I wish a nigga would. Hey, bro, I done been in prison, done it 24 years. I ain't gonna tell you how many times I don't had to go to the box for a nigga speaking out of turn on one of mine that ain't dead at the kid himself. That's just kind of, I don't got no qualms with that, man. You don't want conflict, don't comment. You feel me?
Flat out.
Yeah, that's for sure. God bless the dead.
You
especially
feel?
Niggas that die in the line of duty. You feel me?
Right.
Don't ever do that. Yeah, for sure.
And see, and I'm glad you gave it a different side, because the people who ain't lived that type of life don't have that understanding, and that's where the debates is coming in at, because everybody is in two different worlds. You got the legit people, and then you got the non-legit people. The hood people and the people from the suburbs. So the view of life is totally different. What you think about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, citizens, man, that's like when we talk about the rat aspect and all that.
Mm-hmm.
A citizen can't rat on.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, citizens, they got the right to use the facilities provided by the government, law enforcement, and all that. But if you're a street guy, man, don't do it to somebody and then use the government when it apply to you. Like I said, we are gladiators that signed up for the arena. That's why I got to tell a guy, keep it in the street, man. Don't go to the box on me, dog, if that's how it is. But if not, man, you need to be real with yourself when you wake up in the morning and say, I'm just not built for this life, man. I need to be doing something else. You feel me? And ain't nothing wrong with that. I promote that.
That's
I
right.
should have stayed my ass in school. You hear me?
You feel me? I like
Even though I'm built for something, don't mean you should do it. Just because you good at it, don't mean you should do it, bro. You hear me?
That's right, for real. When you call it back, let me know.
Well, listen, man, I'll probably tap back in with you in about right at the count. It's gonna be 4:30.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll be back at you for sure.
All right, bet. I'm gonna have it lined up for you too, and I appreciate you come sharing that wisdom and knowledge with these brothers and sisters.
Thank you for using GTL.
That was Nico Brazzi representing Rock Bottom, giving y'all his portion of understanding, his views on outlook of life. You feel me? Coming from the streets and from the penitentiary side. You feel me? And elaborating on the most deadliest crews. We named a few. We named the Best Friends, the Clifford Jones, and the A-Team, which all of them did some mass destruction in neighborhoods. You feel me? They all got their pros and cons. I know them all personally. I had to speak on that because I be reading my comments. I read all my own comments and I respond to my comment. That be me. You feel me? And I see people be having things to say like, I don't know what I'm talking about. It ain't me that be talking. The people that come on here is the actual people or somebody that was part of their crew, their family members or something. You feel me? I don't talk about people that I don't know. Let's get that understood. I ain't one of them motherfuckers read a case or hear a case on the news or on the newspaper or hear somebody else tell it. I like to get it from the horse's mouth. I'm not like Al Prophet speak on other motherfuckers and make it like it's facts. But y'all don't go on his page and be saying he lying because he getting millions of views for the content he's dropping. And he ain't getting it from the horse's mouth. And a lot of his shit is misled and false. I get y'all the people come on here and then I be reading these comments like how you go tell a motherfucker that's speaking for himself what he did in his life because you heard somebody else say something different. It's the individual himself. He could tell you better than anybody could tell you his motherfucking story. You feel me? Make that make sense. Do y'all be reading the stuff the comments y'all make before y'all make them? Do y'all actually watch the whole shows? Draw into that. You feel me? I'm not faking or perpetrating. I got these guys and the guys I had come on here. I know them. I just don't want to tell their story so I don't have to have this conflict, whereas somebody else says something different. So then I don't know what I'm talking about. That's why I had them come and speak for themselves. You feel me? Ask them, go on their page to see if you see them same guys on there. I don't have the same content. They speak on somebody, I go get that person. Let them speak for themselves. You feel me? I played a part in that. I lived this life. I'm from the hood. I'm from the block. I was making money with these guys, doing things with these guys. Al Prophet ain't did none of that. So how can he tell y'all the story about y'all neighborhood? Y'all lived in the hood. Y'all know more about y'all own hood than him. He ain't from y'all set. So how can he give y'all some secondhand information, man? Let's get busy. You feel me? Hit that like, comment, subscribe, and get these ratings up. And stop being in my comments trying to challenge what I'm saying, because I'm not the one saying. Every now and then I might give y'all a little story, but them stories I give y'all is from me being there. I ain't going on no hearsay. You feel me? And as for the most dangerous crews, the Best Friends, they did it with style. You feel me? They set a tone like no other. You feel me? They done wiped out guys' whole crew. They didn't just wipe out one member. They'd go get 4 or 5 different members of that crew and take them down. You feel me? And they was getting some real serious bread. Same thing with Cliff Jones. Cliff Jones was very deadly and very, very feared out here on these streets. I'm gonna tell you like this: if Cliff Jones was saying the shit Nate Boone be saying, I couldn't say nothing different. You feel me? I couldn't object to nothing he'd be saying. You feel me? Because I done seen the fear that he installed on these streets of Detroit just on his name alone. These guys ain't even know this man. All they knew was the description, big black nigga with a jerry curl. You feel me? But his name carried weight. You feel me? And y'all know I ain't lying. A lot of y'all was hiding y'all money when that man was on the streets. You feel me? I done seen y'all skirts up and seen y'all thongs showing. You feel me? And that's on some real 100. But not when he got took off the street, then y'all start flexing, talking tough and talking gangster. A lot of you niggas that talk that tough gangster shit, y'all know I know. You feel me? I know the real. And I hear the stuff y'all saying in these rooms behind closed doors. Y'all mad about this, what I'm saying, and bringing these people up, and I'm opening up old wounds and all that. Dog, y'all weren't playing the part. No way. Most of y'all that's speaking, you all y'all crews wasn't irrelevant back then. So what y'all got to say about these guys speaking for themselves? Who is y'all to tell somebody they can't tell their motherfucking story? Nobody give a fuck how y'all feel and what y'all do and don't like. Flat out. Did I ask anybody their approval? Fuck out of here. I didn't fuck with you niggas then. Or would y'all rather me put this mic down and pick up what I used to carry? You feel me? Fuck around y'all. Y'all don't run shit, and I don't give a fuck who don't like it. You feel me? This is the War Stories podcast, and I'm your host Juice, and I'm gonna keep dropping these stories. I'm about to get more visual with it and get more deeper into it and expose more shit then, since y'all don't like it so much. Hit that like, comment, and share. Y'all go over there and be watching all these other fake pages and listening to the fake stories. They messing up our history. I'm bringing the history and letting y'all hear it for real, as from the players who played it that y'all talked about behind closed doors. Here they go. The ones that's still alive, I know them all. And I'm gonna get down to it. This just one story from the urban community. It's 1,000,001, and it's just one, and we go get to the rest of it. You feel me? Let them know the streets ain't what it is. I'm not telling these stories to glorify. I'm telling these stories to make awareness of where we came from and how far we done come, and what need to be changed on what they've been doing to our people for all these years, man, dealing with these crimes. You feel me? Somebody got to make a change. But if y'all don't know the history, then how you gonna know what need to be changed? You feel me? It can't be like a revolving door. With that being said, go hit the like, comment, and share button. Get into the members only. Y'all be missing exclusive stuff in the members only. I got to drop some more in there for y'all. And get these views up. Come check us out on the YouTube streets with my co-host Dollface Calderon, Baby Doll, So Raw, Public Figure Boogie, and you already know Detroit Gossip. And I can't forget that girl Henny. You feel me? Coming out of New York with it. So yeah, y'all tune in, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll be back with more war stories. You feel me? And it's gonna get deeper. That was just a little bit. I'm gonna tell some of the stories that I know personally. You feel me? I'm gonna give y'all some of the Rock and Red's best friend stories. Tell y'all a little bit about Boogaloo, Stacy Colbert, Chuck and Will, Lucky, Lunch Meat, Mark Patrick, Andre Patrick, and so forth. You feel me? Then we go get into the Cliff Jones organization. We talk about Cliff, his brother Big Herb Lester, his brother Bean, his brother Kellogg, Big Cuddy, Steve Washington, Fat Mo, Lay Hutch. You know what I'm saying? Just to name a few. So we go get down to it. Then we go get in. I'm gonna run through the pioneers who set the tone for it all. The YBI Corporation, the A-Team. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about Gravel Pit, Spencer Holloway. You know what I'm saying? Mark McLeod. You know what I'm saying? Farad. You know what I'm saying? These are living legends still. You feel me? So y'all stay tuned and prepare to hear the real inside Detroit gangster stories, like nobody else could give it to y'all better than I can, because I'm going to bring the people to tell it for themselves. And shout out to my boy, YBI Chestnut, we got to get together, man. I miss you, Chestnut. We got to get back on here and get this money. All right, now I'm out. Peace.